Hey folks, welcome into the Cam Rodgers Show on this Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018. I am Cam Rodgers. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Happy hump day indeed. A lot to get through throughout the hour here. NFL rumors, Dez Bryant, is he going to New England? I'll tell you about it. The latest on Urban Meyer also, and some Lakers rumors to wrap up the program. So let's get into those NFL rumors. We'll start things off with Adrian Peterson. So, a little bit of news here for Redskins fans out there. He is now a member of Washington, signed a one-year, $1.05 million deal, which is the veteran minimum, by the way, for a player with that many years under his belt. Now, Peterson won't count against the salary cap if he doesn't make the team, and nothing is guaranteed in Peterson's contract to make the team. It's quite clear Adrian Peterson has to be a lot better than his recent numbers, even with the Darius Geis injury in mind here. I don't think Washington is actually in a dire situation at running back. So, AD's stats since January of 2016, you see him on your screen, 15 total games, 235 carries, just a shade over 700 yards. That yards per carry is what really scares me. Only 3 even, and then 3 touchdowns to show for it. We're talking about a guy who provides no value really in the passing game, and if he can't beat out Rob Kelly or Samaje Perine, then the Redskins won't have much reason to keep this guy on the 53-man roster. Now, Jay Gruden did say that Peterson looked explosive, strong, and fast in his first workout yesterday, and he would like Peterson to play on Friday during that Week 3 dress rehearsal game for the Washington Redskins. Does Adrian Peterson have anything left in the tank? Hit me up in this weigh-in here. Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. One thing I will say from a fantasy football perspective, no reason to have this guy on your team. So let's just wait until he actually makes the team in the first place. And if he does, then maybe you give him some thought if there's another injury for the Redskins, and then you pick him up off the waiver wire. But please, God, do not draft him. I know people will based off of name recognition. But yeah, I'm seeing the comments flowing in, by the way, on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live. Rick, my guy, one of the loyal watchers of the show. I see Zachary as well. Rick took the middle ground, 1.5 in the comments section. All right, some more news and rumors here. No collarbone fracture for A.J. McCarron. So some positive news here for Bills fans. There was some buzz out there that maybe A.J. McCarron wasn't going to be the starter for the Bills in Week 1, and perhaps that's still a possibility, but he should return to competition soon. Josh Allen, by the way, is going to be the Bills' Week 3 starting quarterback for this preseason dress rehearsal game, which is very notable. But obviously McCarron is still, rehabbing a little bit, even though he didn't break his collarbone. That doesn't necessarily mean that A.J. McCarron is 100% healthy. The Buffalo News originally reported that McCarron had suffered a hairline fracture of that collarbone. Obviously, that is not the case now. But we do have a competition still. A.J. McCarron, of course, Josh Allen as well, and then you have Nathan Peterman. BetDSI, sponsoring the show here today, has the odds for who will be the Week 1 starter for Buffalo against my Baltimore Ravens. A.J. McCarron is the favorite at minus 150, Josh Allen at plus 160, and then you have Nathan Peterman at plus 820. Guys, chansports.com/bet. Throw some money down on Nathan Peterman. Really good value there at plus 820. Do you really think Josh Allen's going to start Week 1? That would be a big, fat mistake, especially against a Baltimore Ravens defense that's pretty darn good. A.J. McCarron, who knows if he'll be healthy? So throw some cash down on that. All right, some NFL trade rumors here. The Jets to perhaps acquire Dante Fowler, pass rushing specialist for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, the Jets have indeed inquired about the availability of one Fowler, at least according to the New York Daily News. The Jags didn't pick up Fowler's fifth-year option, which is pretty telling to me. This is a make-or-break year for Fowler, a guy who does not start on that defense from the beginning. So the problem is He's coming off a week's suspension for fighting Yannick Ngakoue, a teammate on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's got a 1-week suspension during the regular season. So for Dante Fowler, he has some personal issues that he needs to figure out, and he needs to have a really good season this year to really convince the Jacksonville Jaguars to extend. All right, so maybe, just maybe, there could be a trade that goes down involving Fowler and Teddy Bridgewater. Projected Teddy Fowler deal straight up. Fowler, Bridgewater. Jacksonville gets Teddy, the Jets get Fowler. Hey, why not? Fowler has 12 total sacks the last 2 seasons. The Jets need help in the pass rushing department. Yeah, Leonard Williams is there. I'm intrigued about third-round pick Nathan Shepard, but Fowler would really help on that front line for the Jets. Meanwhile, with Jacksonville, maybe Doug Marrone isn't fully convinced about Blake Bortles. Can Blake Bortles take this team to the promised land? And somebody was trying to trigger me the other day, by the way, by saying that Blake Bortles is Joe Flacco 2.0. That is false. That is not even close. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl MVP quarterback. Blake Bortles is a game-managing quarterback who has a great defense, a great offensive line, and a good running back as well to help him out. I know Joe had some of that help in years past as well, but Joe took the team on his back during that 2012-2013 run in the playoffs. So, I digress. Could you see that trade happening? Let me know in comments. I want to hear from you guys about that. Hey, do you think you know more than other NFL fans out there? It's time to be a player, not a talker. Get paid for being a genius when it comes to sports. Visit chatsports.com/bet. Chatsports.com/bet. That is the website. Go there. Use our exclusive offer to get up to $600 worth of a free deposit bonus. That's 120%. Use promo code NFL120. It's not gambling when you know you're going to win some money. Chatsports.com/bet. All right, continuing along here. Andrew Luck played for the Colts on Monday Night Football against my Baltimore Ravens, and he felt, quote, encouraged. Well, particularly because when T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs, shout out to Jason in comments, Raven Nation, baby, taking down Andrew Luck, Andrew didn't feel any pain. And he was encouraged about that, and obviously it's the small victories at this point when you're talking about Luck, a guy who is coming off a season where he did not see any action during the regular year for the NFL and the Indianapolis Colts. So the stat line wasn't all that great, 6 of 13, 50 yards, an interception, and that's okay. Andrew Luck's trying to get back into the NFL fray here, so small steps, folks, small steps. So Andrew Luck encouraged about that Monday Night Football game and being healthy. Hey, how about this? Victor Cruz is employed by ESPN. He will be an analyst on a variety of ESPN shows, officially closing the chapter on his NFL playing career, folks. Cruz said back in May that he thought he could still play, but at the same time, he had a deadline in mind. No traction happened. So there you go, Victor Cruz, now in a new life, if you will, new chapter of his career. And Cruz was on the Bears squad last summer, didn't even make the team, and we're talking about a Bears team that had like Josh Bellamy at wide receiver, Deontay Thompson, Kendall Wright. These guys aren't going to scare opposing secondaries, and Cruz couldn't make the team. So that was an indicator for me that Victor Cruz probably would not play in the NFL again. I think Terrell Owens actually has a better reality in regards to that. Sticking with the wide receiver theme here, Rashard Matthews earned his one-year extension. The deal is worth $7.75 million. Matthews will make $5 million in base salary this season after signing a 3-year, $15 million deal with Tennessee back in 2016. And he set career highs with 65 catches, 945 yards, and 9 touchdowns a couple years ago, but not the greatest year in 2017. Granted, Marcus Mariota wasn't all that good either. So kind of a step back for the Titans as a whole on offense, despite making the playoffs and all. Now, Matthews is currently on the PUP list with an undisclosed injury, and his Week 1 status is currently unknown. All right, some more NFL news and rumors. Here it is. Dez Bryant, what is the latest on the Dez sweepstakes? So here's what I can tell you. Dez met with the Cleveland Browns, went through introductions with several folks throughout the facilities, then met with Hugh Jackson personally. Dez told Jackson that he wanted, quote, realness and a coach he felt comfortable with. And Hugh Jackson kind of put out a little sales pitch for Dez Bryant saying, hey, we need somebody like you on this team. Now, we know that Dez Bryant left Cleveland, Ohio without a contract, and the Browns reportedly don't have Dez on the, quote, unquote, front burner anymore, especially in light of the Josh Gordon return. He's not officially returning in terms of practicing yet. I'll get to him later, but he is back into the fray here. And the Browns have a jam-packed wide receiver depth chart. Antonio Callaway, Jarvis Landry, Josh Gordon. The list goes on here. Maybe Dez Bryant isn't exactly needed on that team, or Dez Bryant is waiting for a contender to call him. From what I understand, Dez Bryant wants to be on a Super Bowl contending team. The Cleveland Browns, sorry Cleveland fans, do not qualify, but the New England Patriots do. And Dez Bryant, he's a bit of a social media wizard out there, recently answering a comment on Instagram about the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, and, well, he said Tom Brady has always been his favorite player. Real fact. Guys, what did I tell you all? I mean, we're going back to early May. I've been hammering it home. Dez Bryant is going to sign with the New England Patriots. Every time. I've been saying it. Every time I've been talking about the latest rumors. There's a tweet out there from me, I think last week, amid all the Cleveland Brown buzz, I said, even with those rumors in mind, even with the announcement that Dez is going to visit Cleveland, I'm still holding firm that he's going to sign with the New England Patriots. That was like a week and a half ago. So far I'm being proven right now because Dez left Cleveland without a contract, and for reasons perhaps on the Cleveland side of things as well as the Dez side of things. Cleveland, they don't really need him. Dez, he wants to be on a contender, and maybe he wasn't all that impressed with the Browns. Who knows? Should Dez Bryant join the Patriots? Type away. 3 for yes, 4 for no. I know where a lot of people stand on this, some of the loyal watchers of the show. I know Rick has been saying Houston. My guy Zachary thinking New England as well. It makes so much sense from so many perspectives, and somebody else commented, well, Cam, if New England really wanted Dez, they would have brought him in by now. You see, I'm not so sure about that because New England didn't know they were going to get a 4-game suspension for Julian Edelman. New England didn't know they were going to cut Jordan Matthews. New England did not know that Eric Decker, whom they recently brought in and signed, was going to be Mr. Drops McGee. So as we stand, New England has a need at wide receiver. They do, especially in those first 4 games with no Edelman. They need a red zone target outside of Rob Gronkowski. It's going to be bracket coverage in the red zone on Gronk, and I know it's easier said than done, but double coverage is double coverage. If you have Dez Bryant on isolation, one-on-one situations on the outside in the red zone, he's going to be that basketball kind of go up and get it type receiver for you, for Tom Brady in particular. So it makes sense from a football perspective on the field, also from a narrative perspective, as again, I still have New England as my top team, but I do have Pittsburgh at 2. I brought in Houston at 3 because I think that does make sense as well. But from a narrative side of things, the New England Patriots have brought in veteran wide receivers before. Guys in the back 9 twilight of their careers. We're talking about the likes of Michael Floyd, Brandon Lloyd, Chad Ochocinco. Guys, if New England is willing to bring in Chad Ochocinco, they are willing to bring in Dez Bryant. Don't give me this crap, by the way. I'm sick and tired of hearing this. Dez Bryant's dramatic. He's a locker room cancer. He doesn't follow the Patriot way. BS on that. BS, and you guys know it, because Bill Belichick, much like a coach like Nick Saban, has the ability to mold a player no matter what the personality is and have them fit into that scheme, fit onto that team, make that chemistry happen. I bet you Tom Brady would love Dez Bryant. By the way, shout out to Jason saying I'm the man on Facebook Live. You are the man, Jason. Thank you. By the way, let me know what the top destinations are for Dez Bryant in your eyes. Hit me up in comments. But Dez Bryant is not a cancer. He's not a locker room problem. He's none of that, because he's just a passionate guy. Everybody's like, well, he's a distraction to the Patriots. You know what's a distraction to the Patriots? Maybe Bill Belichick should stop being Mr. Micromanager and getting on the wrong page with Tom Brady, and we wouldn't have these reports from ESPN saying there's friction within the New England organization, right? I mean, maybe Bill should focus on that rather than, worrying about Dez Bryant being a problem, because I don't think he would be. So there you go. That's the latest on Dez. I do have another story coming up about him, so keep it right here. But we are, of course, sporting the beautiful Mizzen and Main here on the Cam Rodgers Show, and you can get one for yourselves. Comfortable.af is indeed the website, folks. Check them out. I'm wearing one right now, and it feels fantastic. And the best part is, guys, toss it in the laundry, pull it out. No ironing needed. It is a beautiful thing. Shout out to you, Mizzen and Main. All right, more on Dez. Well, Jarvis Landry still wants him. This is nothing new, of course, because Landry has been very vocal in his interest for Dez Bryant. He was vocal prior to the Browns' visit. Now, Landry didn't have the opportunity to actually meet with Dez when he was present at the Browns' facilities, but he did say that he would still like Bryant to sign with the team despite leaving the facilities without a contract. Now, the logical train of thought here is that Josh Gordon is back into the fray. There's no need for Dez Bryant on the Cleveland Browns, although I will say Hugh Jackson recently refuted that theory. So take that with what you wish. Damian Ratley, Antonio Callaway, these guys are young and they are really performing well so far for Cleveland. So in that vein, maybe the Browns really just don't want Dez Bryant because he might not even make the team if he did sign with them. That's kind of the reality there. Some other comments flowing in. Go to Detroit. I saw Houston. Kenneth on Facebook Live saying Green Bay. Guys, remember this moment. What is it? 10:17 Eastern Time on this Wednesday. Dez Bryant to the New England Patriots. If I am wrong, I will give anybody who wants one a personal apology here on air. All right, remember that. Okay, next up, Teddy Bridgewater. Is he getting traded? Well, not right now. So the latest is that the Jets are listening to offers, which really doesn't mean much, by the way, because we all listen to trade offers. If you play fantasy football, it's not like we block our friends and don't listen to the offer. But the Jets are asking for a lot here, and with good reason. And I think the Jets could probably ask for a lot more, and maybe they're waiting for this to happen, but a quarterback injury could go down at some point during the preseason here, maybe even the early goings of the regular season, i.e. a Carolina that has no depth at quarterback. Carolina gives New York a call and says, hey, we'll give you the world for Teddy Bridgewater because we feel we can make the playoffs. We just need an adequate quarterback with Cam Newton down now. So as we stand, Sam Darnold is reportedly trending toward being the Week 1 starter for New York on Monday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. That means Josh McCown is going to be the clipboard guy, which is really odd to me because, well, he was supposed to be the stopgap option for them. So the recent reporting is that the Broncos were one team that recently inquired about Teddy Bridgewater. Now, with Denver, they have Case Keenum. He's the starting quarterback. They have Paxton Lynch, who's now QB number 3, and Chad Kelly is reportedly impressing. He's QB number 2. So if you're Denver, let's say you lose Case Keenum, do you want Chad Kelly to be your starting quarterback with a good defense, good offensive line, good core of running backs, a team that probably can make the postseason? You'd probably rather have Teddy Bridgewater on your squad. Now, one of two things have to happen here for a Teddy Bridgewater trade to go down. By the way, our friends at BetDSI give us the latest odds here in terms of the Week 1 starter for the Jets, McCown the favorite. The Jets have to lower the price on Bridgewater, which probably will not happen, or, like I mentioned, a starting quarterback injury happens and the demand for Bridgewater goes up. One of those two things has to go down for a Teddy trade to actually happen. So keep that in mind there. My guy Rick on Facebook Live saying the Panthers' offensive line is their main concern. No doubt about that. Losing your starting right tackle, losing Andrew Norwell to free agency, big-time concerns there. Matt Khalil is struggling as we go throughout the preseason too, so keep that in mind. All right, folks, we're hooking you up. We've partnered with the #1 sports book, BetDSI, and we have demanded our audience get the best sign-up bonus known to man. Type in chatsports.com/bet in your browser, sign up and deposit with promo code NFL120. You will get a 120% deposit bonus. Deposit $100. You'll receive $220. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code NFL120, real cash. Get it done. All right, some more NFL news and rumors. And as we go through this segment here, friendly reminder that the Ohio State trustees are currently going through what is called an executive session trying to determine the fate of Urban Meyer, who is currently on paid administrative leave. So we'll be tracking all that. I have an Urban Meyer segment later in the show. I'll talk about the latest surrounding him, but happening right now, Ohio State's trustees are discussing the fate of Urban Meyer. They have the findings of the investigation. They've been briefed on it and everything. So now we wait. All right, so let's talk about Aaron Rodgers, who's waiting for a contract extension. So he's set to make $20 million this year, $21 million next year. Obviously woefully underpaid considering he's the second best quarterback in the league. Yeah, second best behind Tom Brady. But Rodgers did express confidence that a deal would get done and that both sides would be satisfied with the outcome. As we stand, of course, Matt Ryan is the highest paid quarterback in the league following his big fat extension. Ryan is earning the most in terms of guaranteed money for the quarterbacks out there as well. Stafford's on that list, Andrew Luck. No Aaron Rodgers, no Tom Brady, no Ben Roethlisberger, no Drew Brees. It's kind of interesting to look at this list here. There's Ryan at the top. There's Stafford at 2. By the way, not a top 10 quarterback, just a fact. Andrew Luck at 3, Kirk Cousins there at 4. Jimmy Garoppolo checks in at number 5. Now, in terms of cap hits for 2018, Garoppolo has the biggest. Then Stafford, there's Derek Carr at 3. My dude, Joe Flacco, $24.8 million. Andrew Luck with $24.4. Guess where Aaron Rodgers is in terms of cap hit for 2018? He ranks 14th, guys. That's amazing to me when you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback in Aaron Rodgers and a guy who can't win in the playoffs, Matt Stafford there at 2, Rodgers at 14. Pretty interesting stuff there. So we'll see what happens with this contract. I have a feeling that it's going to be revolutionary, you know? Just in the way in which the contract can be changed in the season, in the contract. Most contracts, obviously, you can't change them because, well, they're contracts after all. But Rodgers may want his to be, shall we say, malleable, changeable, depending on the quarterback market. All right, folks, Richie Incognito is in trouble yet again. He was arrested Monday on counts of disorderly conduct and threats arising from an incident at a funeral home in Scottsdale. Per a source with knowledge of the situation, Incognito allegedly created a disturbance by, quote, acting erratically and making the employees feel incredibly uncomfortable. Now, I want to note also Incognito's father passed away over the weekend, so perhaps this outburst was part of the equation here, and he's hoping to make the NFL comeback, but obviously Incognito has some personal issues and personal priorities right now to go through before he actually makes that NFL comeback. And he's a good guard. He played great last year. It's really tough to see that Incognito is going through all these issues right now. All right, will Josh Gordon be practicing soon? That's the buzz out there. Hugh Jackson said Gordon is set to practice within the next few days. So the goal is to have him available Week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That seems to be a reality. Now, Gordon has already been ruled out for tomorrow night's third preseason game for the Cleveland Browns against those Philadelphia Eagles, but he could be back at practice on Saturday. Then perhaps he plays in the preseason finale against the Detroit Lions. That would be on August 30th. Gordon is currently on the active non-football injury list and must first be cleared to practice by his medical team before he can actually, of course, be on the practice football field. So the time frame for him is kind of a collaborative effort here of the NFL, Gordon's doctors, and the Cleveland Browns all put together. I'm sure Browns fans are itching for Josh Gordon to be back on the football field. Seems to me that it's going to be pretty darn soon. All right, hey, how about this? This came through just a few moments before coming on air. George Iloka, recently cut by the Cincinnati Bengals, is on his way to Minnesota to sign with the Vikings. This according to NFL Network. Simply the case of the rich getting richer, by the way, in terms of this Vikings defense. I mean, I am not yet laying down my Super Bowl predictions, but I am dang close to putting the Vikings there. And this just firmly solidifies my case, I guess, with George Iloka now on that defense, because I was already in love with the defense before this report here. And now with Iloka, who's a very versatile safety, he can do free and strong. Obviously, Harrison Smith is your free safety, one of the elite ones in the National Football League. But you tell me the weakness of the Minnesota Vikings defense. I can't find one. Front line is good with Everson Griffin and Linval Joseph and Anthony Barr there at the linebacking core. And now you have Harrison Smith and George Iloka and Andrew Sendejo, Xavier Rhodes. I could name, player after player here, and they're all really, really good. So for Minnesota, really good pickup, by the way. The connection, Iloka and Zimmer, both reunite here. They had some ties with the Cincinnati Bengals back in the day. All right, one more news/rumor to get through. The Commander-in-Chief, 45th President of the United States, weighing in recently on ESPN's decision to not air the national anthem during Monday Night Football. So here's the president last night in West Virginia speaking with his base here. Quote, "It was just announced by ESPN that rather than defending our anthem, our beautiful, beautiful national anthem, and defending our flag, they've decided that they just won't broadcast when they play the national anthem. We don't like that." The 45th president, leader of the free world, chiming in on the ESPN policy here. By the way, ESPN did say that this policy is subject to change, in that if the national anthem becomes newsworthy, it will, then they will start showing it again. So where do you guys fall on this? First of all, just a philosophical question here. Are you okay with the President of the United States talking about the national anthem debate, or would you rather have him focus on other things? I'm not saying there's a right answer. I want to know what you guys had to say about that one. And then on the other hand, the NFLPA and NFL are still trying to figure out this national anthem policy here. We have no idea when this decision will happen. You would assume it'll happen before the Thursday night regular season opener between the Eagles and the Falcons, but who the heck knows? And if that policy does not get etched into legitimacy before that Week 1 game, it's going to be a crapshoot, I think, because some players are going to be doing one thing, some players are going to be doing another thing. There could be chemistry problems and all of this. So keep that in mind there, but President Trump weighing in on the ESPN policy to not air the national anthem at last night's rally.